Welcome to another update by Force 13 on Typhoon Cimaron, a storm that is quickly barreling towards Japan at over 20 knots right now. It's going to be there within the next 12 hours. Right now, the storm has winds of 95 miles an hour and a minimum pressure of 965 millibars. Fortunately, not being as impressive as we thought it could have been yesterday when it was looking like a Category 4 almost. We had it as a Category 3. Potentially, this is due to its quick forward speed that's impacting it. It is in an area of low wind shear to moderate wind shear and warm sea surface temperatures. So it's fortunate to see this. Right now, it is going to be arriving in the air in the island of Shikoku in the next 12 hours, probably making landfall near Osaka, where typhoon warnings are in effect. We'll take a look at those in just a second. Here's the track forecast from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center with Typhoon Cimaron. Little change since yesterday. The storm is moving barely west of north right now. It's going to start moving due north soon as it impacts Osaka and the island of Shikoku. This storm will move very quickly. It's going to cross the islands in less than 12 hours, so fortunately the worst impacts won't be there very long before it turns to the northeast, potentially impacting the northernmost island of Japan as well, Hokkaido, in 2 to 3 days' time as a tropical system still. Track's uncertainty is still pretty wide at that point, though, so you can't say anything for sure. The storm may be interacting with Sulik as well, so the track might be uncertain based on that once it gets into the Sea of Japan, but we'll just have to wait and see with that. Here's a look at sea surface temperatures around the storm, 27s and 28s all the way around, even after it crosses into the Sea of Japan for a little bit. If the storm wants to get its act together at all during the next 12 hours or so, this is the chance it's going to have. Favorable conditions overall, and we'll take a look at wind shear right now. Here's a look at the wind shear map mode. You can see Typhoon Cimaron there just south of Shikoku there in an area of low to moderate wind shear. To maintain this for the past day or so now. Yesterday it was in a sliver of low wind shear between two very high areas of shear. Was threading the needle right between the two. It seems to be in more favorable conditions now. So if the storm wants to strengthen a little bit before landfall, here's the chance it has. Right now, though, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center does not call for re-intensification. Here's a look at some of the satellite imagery of the storm. You can see right here Cimaron smack in the middle of the screen. You can even make out Sulik in the top left corner. You can see Jeju Island there just barely. Storm's not looking very organized right now. The northern and northwestern eye wall areas are fully exposed. The northern side has been the weakest throughout the history of the storm. It seems to be especially so, though, right now. You see a bit of convection flaring up over the eye, though, in the latest frames. Regardless of intensity, this storm is going to bring a lot of rain to central Japan, especially near the landfall area. If we switch over to the other satellite imagery, we'll get a bit of a close-up quickly. You can see the storm not the most organized right now, but it still is a potent storm. Category 2 right now. Could be a little bit weaker when it gets there, though. Still a typhoon nonetheless, and could be providing life-threatening conditions for sure. Let's take a look at some of the computer models for the storm right now. This is going to be the GFS right now. You can see it has Cimaron moving quickly northward, hitting Shikoku as a typhoon. Fortunately, the storm looks like it's going to move through the islands rather quickly, so we're not going to see the worst impacts there for a very long time. You can see it as it leaves the screen and starts moving northward. It is forecast to make a turn towards the east, potentially impacting Hokkaido as a tropical storm still. And behind it, you can see some other tropical activity. 92W near Taiwan has a tropical formation alert. There is a chance it forms. Uncertainty for the track as well, but you see closer out to 77 days, we see another system potentially impacting Japan and South Korea. Elsewhere in the tropics, we have a very powerful Category 4 Hurricane Lane, 150 miles an hour at the time of recording this, is going to be impacting the Hawaiian Islands. Hurricane warnings in effect for some of them right now. Hurricane watches in for the other mainland Hawaiian Islands. Very powerful storm. We're doing a lot of coverage on this one right now, so make sure to stay tuned for that. We may be doing extensive live coverage tomorrow. Definitely keeping track of this storm as it threatens the Hawaiian Islands. Thank you for the support we've seen for this. We've seen a lot of support in regards to this storm. We'll continue to provide the best coverage possible on it. That's going to be it for this update by Force 13 on Typhoon Cimaron. Make sure to check out our outlets as well. Subscribe here at YouTube if you haven't already. Check out Facebook and Twitter. Those links will be down below as well. Maybe become a patron if you can afford it. Helping us out goes a really long way. We've run without external support for 7 years, and we start to rely a little bit on our fans to help us out. Anything is really appreciated if you can do it. Also, we will likely be covering Hurricane Lane and these Western Pacific typhoons extensively tomorrow as Lane nears land as a powerful Category 4 hurricane. Stay tuned for that. Take care.